Well, with special guests now, we have David Black, one of the UK's leading Elvis impersonators, joining me on my show. Welcome back, Dave. It's great to have you on.
Hello, Dan. Appreciate you having me back on again.
It's so,
How are you? All right?
yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Okay.
Good,
Good,
good.
good. Fantastic.
And what have you been up to since last time we spoke?
Um, we've had a few more appearances in the media. Obviously, not as mad as it was back in January where it exploded, but it's just mainly concentrating on my own show, which I do most weekends. It's busy and good. Can't knock it,
Ace, I'm glad
you
to
know.
hear it. Good for you. Elvis Presley's what you do. And during this time last year, Elvis Presley was in a movie which was released. Have you managed to catch that movie yet?
Yeah, I've seen the movie. Yeah, I'll see it when it come out. Yeah, it's long. It's very dark,
Mm.
and I'd say it's a bit morbid at times. How true it is, I don't know.
Mm.
But how I see it was, yeah, this my perspective on it was Presley was a fantastic talent on stage. But if you're gonna be thinking what it was like off stage, uh, look where he was from. Deep south, hillbilly country, uneducated, and that's when people moan about Tom Parker. Probably without Parker, there's no Presley because obviously Parker was the brains behind the talent.
Mm. And you mentioned where he's from, Graceland, if I'm correct. Have you ever been to the States, visited like Graceland or even Las Vegas, where he did his shows?
I've been to Vegas. I've been to Vegas. I've never been to Grace. I like to see Graceland from a historical point of view.
Mm-hmm.
Been to Vegas 13 times,
Mm.
loads of times. I do like a bit of Vegas.
Mm.
The shows are magnificent.
Mm. And speaking of the movie that was made about him, have you seen the movies that he was actually in? He starred in.
What the older ones?
Yeah. What,
I've seen bits. I've
mm,
seen bits, but I've got to say I'm not really. The only things, from my perspective, the only things I will watch, which interests me, is from Presley when he was in like the 70s in the jumpsuit era,
yeah.
because that's what I do. So all the younger stuff. I mean, I've watched documentaries, but I haven't really
Mm.
sat down and watched any of his movies now.
That's fair enough. And you mentioned costumes. You got your jumpsuit in your wardrobe. What's your other favourite Elvis costumes you like to, do your thing and shake your hips to in your act?
As I said, mainly it's just the
Yeah.
jumpsuits, but we've got a few puffy shirts that he used to wear when he was doing his rehearsals.
Mm.
But because of my age and my size, I stick to the later stuff, like
Mm.
you know the 70s.
Yeah.
I don't think it quite look right me coming out in a gold
Mm.
llama jacket or the leathers, so I just stick to all the jumpsuit
Yeah.
era.
So Dave Black does what he does best.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah,
Cool.
that's right. Because as I said, I ain't Presley. I don't look like Elvis. So the last thing you want to do for an act is look comical.
Mm.
You're trying to create the illusion, smoke and mirrors of that man on the stage. And I said the only thing you can pull off is the jumpsuit era because obviously that's where he got a bit bigger as well.
Mm. And I wanted to ask you back to the record. You collaborated with the Filter Freaks not so long ago. Do you still get recognised in the streets and everything?
Well, I done funny enough, I done a show on Saturday, just gone, near where I'm Clacton, and someone said, "Oh, you were the fella on the telly,
Mm.
you're from Colchester." So yeah, so occasionally you'll get people recognise you, but obviously a lot of it's through social media.
Mm.
You know, that's where people recognise you.
Yeah, and people can check out the video to the Filter Freaks collaboration. There's a lot going on. It's a very fun video, a lot of dancing. Did you have fun making that video? Was it a good day for you?
Yeah, yeah, it was hard work. It was hard work. It was hard work. I was very fortunate. I've got a very good friend of mine I went to school with who's tops in the dance game, and he arranged for his place and he choreographed it all up here in Essex. But yeah, it was hard work
Mm.
because obviously there's a lot of stop start stop start. That's with any type of video. Obviously, the public only see the final result.
Mm.
But yeah, it's good fun.
Paid off in the
Good fun.
end. Paid off in the end then.
Of course, yeah,
Cool.
fantastic video.
And yeah, that was a remix of like an Elvis Presley track. A little less conversation. Is there any Elvis Presley tracks that you may like to cover again to bring to the 2020s? Like a dance reinterpretation.
What we're thinking of doing, like there's a few tracks, but we're going to do a reggae beat to it and take that onto the streets in South London, in Brixton, and in North London, in Dalston. Yeah, that would be. Watch this space for that one. That's going to be quite an interesting project.
So kind of bit like UB40s, kind of falling in love with you when they did their kind of.
Yeah, so yeah. So it'll be, we'll pick some good Elvis songs that people know. And we've got some good people in place, and we just put a reggae tune to it. Yeah,
and
different.
Cool. Where can people find out more about you? Do you have a website or just Facebook pages, Instagram, and so on?
Mainly it's easy. Look me up, David Black, Elvis Tribute. David Black on Facebook, David Elvis Black TikTok, David Elvis Black on Instagram.
Also, we're coming. I hate to admit it, but we're coming to that time of year now, the later part of the year. Where's this year gone? Are you accepting bookings coming up to the festive period as well?
I'm fully booked December.
Oh, wow. So next year, can people book you?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Dan, I mean, I've been booked already for next year. You know what I mean? Yeah, there's... we'll always fit someone in somewhere along the line.
So things going well for you, which is good to hear.
Yeah, can't moan. Yeah.
Any sure. Any shout outs to your friends and family?
Any shout outs? Not really.
No, that's fair enough. And I wanted to ask you, what does David Black like to do on a day off when he's not Elvis?
My hobbies. I'm a big West Ham fan. I think I've told you that before.
Yeah, I have.
You know what I mean? So when that's on, I like to watch the football. I don't mind doing the garden. I like a bit of gardening. But unfortunately, days go very quick, and you don't get a chance to do what you. I mean, as I said, the thing is, I do enjoy doing the act. You know what I mean? So it's a nice way of. It's a nice job to have.
That's good. One more final question for you: are you forever blowing bubbles?
100%. Always blowing bubbles.
Great. Well, Dave, you are a star. Thanks so much for taking time out to do this. For old time's sake, I'm going to play your record now, which was
thanks, Dan.
It was a belter from earlier on.
Thank you, Dan. Appreciate that, my friend.
And have a great year with the rest of the shows.
Thank you, Dan. Appreciate that. Thanks for having me on.
My pleasure.